Okay, we are live, it looks like. So if you guys are on YouTube, if you can hear me, please type one. Okay, so um, I guess we'll just get started. I'll start with the intro music and then we'll go from there. Hey guys, we're here to bring you another episode of the KHODDcast where we wrap up the events for April. And today on the show we have Hate, Ogre, and Loot, and maybe a little bit later Kage if he wakes up. But say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Cool. All right, so today on the topic we have, let's see here, we have a quarantine life check-in. We have the April characters' impact on the meta. We're going to talk about the heat wave, siege, thoughts on the May characters. We actually don't have any topics from our patrons this month from our top tiers. So, well, I guess might be a little bit shorter. No promises though. A few announcements regarding our shop, and then a 10-minute Q&A on Discord. And for any of you guys here on YouTube, feel free to type in on YouTube as well. And if you're on Discord, if you do want to ask your question live on air, please let me know. I'll give you talking permissions, and then you can ask. Looks like Kage joined. Say hi, Kage. Oh, okay, he's there, but he's not there. Maybe. Okay. Anyways.
What?
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Oh, hi.
Hey, what's up? All right. So first things first, let's check in on your quarantine life, guys. So how is quarantine life? Ogre, is quarantine life actually affecting you? You're still going to work, right?
Yeah, it affects me. I'm still going to work, but let me tell you this. Uh, it doesn't stop stupid.
Can you have any stories to share?
Oh, I probably can't share them.
Oh, okay. It's one of those type of stories. Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right.
I'll put it this way. I work at a gas station.
Okay.
I just said it doesn't stop stupid.
Yeah. All
I
right.
don't
So,
really need to share much more than that.
okay. Let's put it this way. Are things blowing up around you? Like literally
No, but
blowing
it
up.
feels like it.
Okay. All right.
No, but it feels like it.
Fair enough. All right.
The way some people behave, man, the way some people behave, I'm just like, how are you still, what?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Alrighty. Kage, how is quarantine life for you?
Good, I guess. The only thing I miss is the gym,
Uh,
you
you,
know, because I'm I don't know if you told me at the beginning of the year, man, that I'd be losing some gains. Yeah, screw you, dude. I'm making progress on my bench press. I'm getting strong, getting big, I'm getting beefy. Now I'm
getting
watching the
lean?
mirror. I'm looking soft. God, no. Nah,
I tell you
you
this, I
know.
feel the same way, but that's because I had that surgery and I'm trying to get back into shape. I gained like 25 pounds, so I'm like 300 pounds now. It's stupid.
Oh
Hmm.
no. Yeah, I actually cut back on my food intake because I'm like, man, I'm not working out, so might as well save money. And I actually got a new job
Oh yeah.
during this quarantine. Yeah,
Nice.
Hate tried to talk me out of it. I'm like, dude, hey, should I like work for telecom or should I work finance? He's like, man, if you work finance, man, you're gonna hate your life like me. But I'm like,
Oh, you into finance?
dude, I want
Oh,
to make so much money like you. Yeah.
yeah. Finance is kind of where it's at, but it's also very very tough. And I think I was gonna ask Hate about this because I work in fintech now, and then Hate works in the
Oh,
banking industry. So
okay.
yeah, when you work in fintech in the banking industry, you get slammed with all this PPP nonsense, right? Hate.
Oh, yeah.
Has been my entire life. Past
Yeah,
it's the end of
but
March.
I'm gonna say one thing.
Yeah.
I'm not even American, but I work for an American company. So PPP, it is a big thing. I mean, it's not affecting me directly in the sense that like I'm getting it, but I think it is. Where it's there to help people, and that's what I do because I help people
You can
during all this. But
Well, DP, the bright side is you can really soothe relationships by giving them maple syrup. You're like, hey, man, I got a lot of maple syrup in my backyard. I can
You know,
look
I
at
What's the
that,
had
problem, Millaboot?
I work on the hardware side of things, but at the same time, I had this I'm Canadian. We work on the Canadian side too, like the Canadian and the American side. And I had a Canadian, um, like a paid, or I guess someone who uses our services, said that like, hey, do you like maple syrup? I'm like, I'm Canadian. Yeah, of course I like maple syrup. I'm like, I work in the forest. I can send you some good maple for syrup. I'm like, all right, we gotta get this hookup. But yeah, this is how. Anyways, that's very Canadian of us. But the one thing I did want to hear about is Loot. What is your updates on your end in terms of your situation?
It's still terrible where I live.
Oh
I live
yeah,
in the hotspot of the U.S.,
yeah.
so I'm in the New York, New Jersey region.
What about you
It's
yourself though? In
it's really
terms
no better here.
of your
I'm
physical
still
health?
sick. I'm not really all better yet. I
Mm-hmm.
just got retested on Thursday, waiting for those results. I wanted to get the antibody test, um, but I'm not allowed to
Okay,
because I need to show a negative COVID test first.
so you're still showing
So
positive.
yeah, I mean the doctor, based on the way I am right now, still thinks I might be sick. So
Okay,
it's been 5 weeks. I mean,
jeez,
how long can you really be sick, right?
right. But do you feel
Hmm.
like the symptoms that you had before, like someone was like sitting on your chest and that kind of stuff? Like, is that still the same, or is it getting better at least?
That's better. It's got that the breathing part's gone.
Okay.
Um, the only part that I have now is I've got laryngitis. Um, just like it's kind of like I have a cold, but then I also feel like I have mono, like I'm
Hmm.
extremely lethargic and tired all the time.
That's
Yeah.
how I was yesterday, and I felt like I might be coming down with it or something because yesterday I just could not. Horrible.
Extreme tiredness is a symptom.
Today I feel fine now, so it was like
Well,
one day
that's
long.
good. Maybe
So
you just needed some rest.
maybe it was just
Yeah,
days.
it's been.
Like I sleep all the time. I'm not a napper. Like it's not something that I do. And every day at around 3 o'clock, I hit a wall, and I literally go to sleep at 3 o'clock for an hour, and then I go back to work.
Alrighty.
That's pretty crazy.
My boss actually wanted me to just stop working completely for like a week, and I
Mhm.
said no.
Huh. Do, I mean, did he said he wanted you to stop working and he'd still pay you, or you want to just keep working?
Oh, I get paid no matter what.
Oh.
If I stop working, it means I'm going to fall behind in my
Oh, that's what
work.
I see what you mean. Hmm.
And honestly, it's not worth it to me. It's too much work to get caught up.
Oh yeah, I get you. That makes sense to
That's
me.
why I don't really ever take vacation. Very rare. I never take like a whole week at a time
Hmm.
because it's just too hard to get back on top of things.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I have like a lot of vacation time like pooling up. I actually work for a company that has flexible vacation time, and since I
Yeah, I
started,
do too.
yeah,
I have more than 4 weeks
yeah.
I'm allowed to take in a year. Maybe even 5 weeks. And honestly, I take like a day here, a day there. I don't take very much.
It sounds like you have like Japanese work ethic. You should work in Japan. That's because people never take vacations there. But
It's
anyways,
I
pretty
can tell
rare
you
that
in about
anybody
2
in my
weeks.
company takes vacation. I
yeah,
mean, everybody's a workaholic.
right.
Weeks I'm taking a week off.
I know that in the finance, especially in the banking industry, like vacations are needed, or else you basically like would pass out. So
Yeah,
When I
I'm done.
worked in banking, it was required to take a 2 week vacation. They
it was
required it,
required.
mandatory.
We require it because they want you to disconnect completely out of the system for security purposes.
Oh, that makes sense. Alrighty. I guess we did check in on everybody. All right, let's get a move on then. I guess. So,
I have one
oh, yeah.
other thing that's
Oh yeah,
just
go for it.
this is just an everyday part of life that people forget is happening. My daughter's birthday is today,
Oh shoot.
and we're
Happy
literally doing a
birthday.
parade of parents. We're doing a parade.
Yep,
We're
Nice.
not actually going to visit anybody. We're not doing diddly spoop. It's
I
like
had that
my
2 weeks
mom is
ago for
bringing the
my kid.
present, and it's sitting in the car. And it's like, are you serious? My mom can't even give my daughter a hug. Like,
Nope.
Yeah.
this is retarded. I hate this. It needs to get back to normal. Luckily, it's starting to warm up, and I'm hoping things will get back to normal very soon.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of stuff, similar stuff on the news. Like here in Canada, I think every day it's basically the same type of thing. Another kid's birthday is missed, or another like sad part is like when someone passes away, like an elderly person, in an old folks home, for example, and then people do like virtual funerals and things like that, right? So that kind of that's the sad part of all this, that you can't be with your loved ones. But
We had a family member die.
Yeah.
It's my wife's aunt
Oh,
last
shoot.
weekend, and we attended the funeral via Zoom.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
It is really weird. I've had a not so direct situation, but like my cousin's grandmother, so on the opposite side of my family, basically, passed away due to COVID in France. So yeah, that was, and we can't attend that funeral because it's also in another country. But yeah, it's just weird altogether. Anyways, I mean, that's kind of a weird note to leave off on, but let's get started with the actual game talk. So let's go over the characters for April. So what do you guys think about Captain Boomerang and Heatwave? Let's start with Ogre. I think you're happy with these characters. What do you like about these guys?
Well, okay. Captain Boomerang was a freebie,
Yeah.
and we all know that I love me some turn meter manipulation. He's very cool, very like him. I'm not sure that empowered strength ups are what the game will end up going towards, but we'll see. I don't know. It seemed cool. Like, I didn't play a lot with him, so like we'll see what happens. But he seemed cool. Heatwave, I'm very excited to finally build up. Haven't actually started that yet, but I'm going to be building him up soon.
Nice.
So I'm excited to build him.
Shame, Ogre. You have
Huh?
him geared. Shame.
What's that?
You should have Heatwave geared already.
Yeah.
I will have him geared as soon as the raid is over. Come on.
You get more. You get
Give me
more
my
Heatwave.
12k
Shame.
gems. Give me my
waiting-
12k
yeah.
gems and let me
Yeah.
derail them up.
I'm waiting for the raid to be over too, so I can get a L5 Heatwave. Yeah, he's been so good right now. I like him a lot as a bleeder. He also, the thing I like about him compared to like Chemo and Dr. Poison and similar characters, he's kind of an engine character for the bleed teams, if you know what I mean. He also
Yeah, because he gets hit and he also applies bleeds, and then
Yeah.
all of his attacks apply bleeds. Like
yeah.
he's got a lot going for him.
All
He's
right.
got a lot going for him.
Now,
Personally, I love the passive to gain meter whenever something dies.
now
Like,
I want to
that's-
ask
that's
somebody
really cool
else
to me.
about this. I remember someone on I can't remember where it is, that either it was on Reddit or it was on YouTube or something like that. Someone said that actually it was one of our podcasts, and I think we were going over Heatwave in his meta report. Someone was saying that Heatwave could be like the king of PvP or the king of PvE. Because I can't remember what he
PvE.
said. Was it?
Can talk about that, I think.
Yeah, I mean the idea is that he's he basically ramps up like really fast, and then as soon as you start getting kills, like he just like goes off, kind of like Black Adam. And yeah, OC3 is saying he's like Black Adam light. So I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, once you get
Was that we lost you there?
Losing your loot.
yeah, somebody just tried calling me. Once there's deaths,
Mhm.
he just can keep firing his AOE over and over and over again.
Yeah, his AOE does pretty good damage too, especially when you get bleeds on. It's pretty
For
good.
PvE, he's actually really good.
Yeah.
If you run him and Black Adam, just the two of them, it's pretty stupid.
Yeah. Hey, what did you think about these the new characters?
Boomerang's okay. He's not great. I kind of enjoyed playing him a little bit during Siege, but don't see myself pretty much ever using him again, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You know, maybe in rare occasions, just because he's like bonus character or something, but he doesn't really do anything that everyone else doesn't do. Someone else doesn't do better. Kind of feels like a happier version of Castaway Green Arrow. His anti-stun is useful, but I'm actually glad he's not a great character because he negates my teams pretty well. So I'm not real high on him. Heatwave I really liked, and I wanted to gear, but I really needed another slow gear character,
I
and
see.
I just decided that I would add him to my list. I'm going to gear him probably over the course of next month. I needed a second character if I wanted to have a chance of the character comes along that I want to speed gear.
Yeah.
If I need to do both in 1 month, so this month I thought might be Parasite looks really interesting, so I may gear him earlier than usual. Then just kind of leave Heatwave because I don't know. I might gear Heatwave sooner than later though. I'm not crazy about bleed teams, but I've been finding them more and more fun, and I love Red Hood's one of my favorite characters in the game for some reason. Like he's
He's
just such a
ridiculous.
great character.
He's a really good leader.
And him, those two paired together, pretty good. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Then I'm really into Mo, which we'll talk about shortly. So
Cool. Kage, what do you think about the new characters?
I think Boomerang's a little underrated. Um, I don't like the character particularly, but I do find that there's value in his speed downs. You're going to want to build around that. We talked about this on the tier list. No, he's not plug and play, not like Castaway. I think you'd be playing him wrong if you play him like Castaway. Um, you want to put him on a speed down team, a turn meter down team. And so even though Castaway might fit a little bit better, the speed downs actually make it a little more potent. So, uh, I think in that particular setup, with Chemo and Heatwave, Lex Luthor, etc., I think that is a good comp for him. I think I was running Lex, Mary, and Boomerang for a little bit. Um, you know, so that he's niche. He plays his niche, okay. Um, he's not particularly a special meta character, but that's okay. Heatwave, I think got some fun tools in his kit. Just like everyone else is saying. With the ramping up on death and Terminator on death and playing bleeds passively. He has also got the shield and the crit immunity to help facilitate the survival. So, I think running him with Red Hood's not a bad idea.
Cool. Awesome. For me, when it comes to Captain Boomerang, I only basically played him during his Alliance week. I didn't play with him that much, but I can see how people are not that excited with him. But he is pretty good at turn manipulation, which Ogre was getting into. So, yeah, I could see that being a big part of his utility. Now, when it comes to Heatwave, I've been playing with him a lot in Red Alerts, and OC3 just shared his team that you can auto everyone with. But the team that I featured before on YouTube, it was before Heatwave. It was the fastest team to go through Red Alerts. It's not auto; you have to do it manually, but you can get through with it. You can get through it in like 15 minutes, or less. But with Heatwave now, I replaced what was his name, Spectre, on my team with Heatwave, and it's basically like you start the first turn of Red Alerts with Deadshot Hired Guns to kill a blue, and then basically Black Adam and Heatwave kill everything, and they always have like full turn meter, so you just like wipe out everyone on every side of the other team. So all you have to do is just pick the right fights, and then you can get through Red Alerts within like 10 minutes. It's ridiculous. I finished like Red Alerts fights in like 30 seconds. But anyways,
That sounds pretty awesome.
yeah. It's ridiculous. It's just like you open the fight, like the fight starts, you already have 100% turn meter on like everybody. Like my team is Deadshot Hired Gun, Larfleeze, Heatwave, and Black Adam. And then you're just like, all right, AoE, dead. Next. So anyways. But yeah, that's my team that's my Red Alert team. Let's talk about the rework characters. This is actually where I'm really excited about. But I think let's start with Ogre. What do you think about the Chemo rework and also Mirror Master?
What? Wait, Mirror Master got reworked?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm kidding. I knew it got reworked. No, I have not played with Mirror Master. Go figure. No, Chemo. The rework upon rework that everybody had been waiting for. I mean, probably just me, but no, I think that his rework overall ended up in a really good spot. Um, whether or not you like Doom, and I'm not talking about the person, I'm talking about the mechanic. Just to be clear,
I like
whether or
Doom.
not you
Yeah,
like
I would say we
Doom,
don't like him.
I mean, he knows I don't like him, but whatever. But anyway, whether or not you like the mechanic, Doom is here to stay. I personally dislike it. I don't think it adds enough to his kit. But even without the Doom, character rework is amazing. I have been loving it. I have heard so many people talking about how they all of a sudden love Chemo and he's everywhere and amazing. And yeah,
Yeah.
I don't really know what else to say. I could just gush for like half an hour, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna interject before letting others talk about Chemo because his Doom is people were talking about it in the beginning, saying how it probably didn't seem like all that. The thing is, when more people start using Chemo and it's Chemo on Chemo, Doom matters a lot because you have to take him down, and that's not easy to do because he's such a big tank, right? So the fact that you can go from like 100% health to suddenly dead is a big deal. But anyways, we'll get around to that. Let's have other people talk about Chemo for a second. Anyone else want to share? Let's say, hey, what do you think about Chemo?
I'll go ahead and go because I've come full circle around on him. I thought he was okay, but I wasn't that excited at first. Then throughout Siege and then just using him and facing him in regular PvP now, I've really come to appreciate just how good he is. And I think I think he has almost near perfect balance because if he was any stronger, he would almost be much. And if he was any weaker, it would be too squishy. So he kind of just feels just right in my mind. So he's one of those characters I think will benefit incredibly high from Rebirth. But like an RB5 Chemo is going to be terrifying.
Joker has it already, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And I think just you can put him on really tanky teams. The reworked Superman, as I'm forcing in chat, Barda, different characters that stall teams are a thing now, and it just makes him a fun, interesting character. I think Doom. I mean, especially in Red Alerts, like there'll be matches where I'll get Doom stacked up and then I lose characters. So I don't know. It just added a new depth of gameplay. I think is really fun, and I think. As more characters come out, especially tankier, beefier characters or additional characters with Doom, I think it could be really interesting gameplay. Air Master, do we want to talk about him yet, or?
He pairs
Yeah,
well with
we
Chemo.
can, but let's ask Loot and Kage what they think about Chemo. So let's go with Loot. What do you think about Chemo? Any fun stories?
I I like him. He's just too squishy for me for a turn zero toner. I do like him. I think
If he gets
needs,
punched
for
in the
me to
face by
use
Wonder
him,
Girl,
he has to be rebirthed. For me personally, he just dies too much on my teams.
Alrighty. Well,
I'll give you my Mirror Master
sure.
quick take. I like him a lot. I don't know why. He does great damage. I love his invisibility with shields. I'm into him. I think he's pretty great. I like him more than Chemo.
Cool. I kind of feel you there, but I like them both, but for different reasons. But we'll get into that.
I
Kage,
like Chemo. I just wish he had more health.
Oh yeah, you want even more
he
health?
has a
than
lot
Chemo?
of health.
He's like
He
super
just has
tank.
a lot less physical defense.
Yeah, he needs more agility. That's what he needs against like.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I've watched Wonder Girl punch him in the face and he explodes. I've watched
Yeah.
that. I agree.
Yeah.
However, I've also watched Etrigan double swipe him, and he's just kind of like, "What?"
Yeah, exactly. Because Etrigan is special damage and Chemo's a special tank. He's like, yeah, that you got nothing on me.
Yeah,
Same-
I watched a like one stack of like 4 up Etrigan double swipe my camo
he
with his
shrugs it
basic,
off.
which would kill everything for the most part, and he just kind of like, "Oh, I took a quarter damage. Good job, buddy."
Yeah, he's also really good against Black Adam, and like any other popular special blues out there. But he's really good against special damage in general. Kage, any thoughts on Kemo? Kage?
We
I'm
lost
here. I just
Chicago.
have to keep unmuting
Oh.
myself. Yeah, I personally don't like Chemo as a character, but he's got a good kit. And, I do, I don't know, how do I say this? I'm happy for Ogre that he got his Chemo rework. I'm happy for the Chemo fans out there. I'm personally waiting on my month. But, I've got my personal favorite, so, it makes the whole world go around. But, I'm with Loot. I like Mirror Master a lot more just because he's got some unique tools that play to his niche. So Chemo actually works better with Mirror Master in that sense. So Clayface, I'm looking at, I'm like, how do you rework this character so he can, do a thing again? Because that was his partner, right? People were running Mirror Master and Clayface for a while, but now it's Chemo and Mirror Master. And yeah, so but yeah, I think in Siege, I found Chemo would be super annoying because Mary wasn't able to take him out, and so you had to bring in some extra tools to take out Chemo, and then if you didn't take him out in time, or if you didn't finish the match in time, that Doom would get you. So
Oh yeah.
I think Doom was very well balanced.
What was that?
I think it was well balanced. I wouldn't buff it anymore. Any more buffs would be pretty hard. So yeah,
So
that's all I gotta say.
I'm gonna springboard off what you said about Mirror Master and Chemo. Basically, they work really well together, as you were saying. The team that I was playing with, as soon as they got reworked, was like a slow team. It's all green and all int based. It was Captain Cold lead with what's his name, Mr. Freeze, Chemo, and Mirror Master, and they're all like turn manipulation and basically like you lock them out. You put so much speed down, and then every time Captain Cold takes his turn, he just basic stuns everybody, and what's his name, Mirror Master just going off. So that team was the team I started working with, and it was really good in the beginning. It could take down even like a whole team of blues. The only thing that you had to be careful is like characters like Harley Quinn giving with characters with lots of evasion, because then you can't stack the slows like with Chemo sometimes because it misses, which is kind of weird. Like it's a non attack move that misses. So, but that is kind of is what it is. Anyways, let's go on to Mirror Master a little bit more then. So, we who already talked about? Did everyone talk about Mirror Master? Anyone want to say something about Mirror Master? If you haven't already.
We all kind of covered him.
Oh, we did? Okay, never mind. Yeah. So I mean, springboarding off that, I guess we're gonna talk about this in the second or the section after this one. But the team that I replaced with the team that I just talked about, I replaced Mr. Freeze with Martian Manhunter, and then I put Martian Manhunter as the lead instead of Captain Cold, and Captain Cold's in like a second spot now, and that team is so good for me right now because of the speed and the advantage that Martian Manhunter brings. But we'll talk about that in just a second. But before that, what do you guys think about the siege? So we'll talk about the Heat Wave siege. Do the Owls want to talk about it this time?
No.
Okay, all right. Doesn't want to talk about it.
Short and to the point.
I mean, hey, there are certain things that we can talk about, right? Like we were talking about this with Hate earlier before we started. So the thing about the Heat Wave siege that I liked a lot is the character selection that we had. So I actually had a lot of fun playing with the turn manipulation characters. I like to play with Mary because Mary's there is one of my favorite characters in the game. So I got to play with her a lot. Mirror Master and Chemo basically just ran the show for me though, for the most part. Did any of you guys have similar experiences with these characters?
Kemba was a
Mary was a
house.
lot of fun to use,
Sorry,
for
who's that?
sure.
What
It's
was that?
Luke.
Oh, it's Luke.
Mary was a lot of fun to use. Really enjoyed playing with her.
Yeah.
She was cool.
I feel Mary's sometimes underrated, but she's really good. Ogre, you were gonna say something?
Kemba was a house for me
Mhm.
in that siege. Like, I don't usually do terribly well or anything, but like every time I brought him in, I never felt bad,
Yeah.
which was awesome.
I feel like in every battle I was using at least like +4 to +6 at the minimum, and sometimes +8. And then so this is like the first time in a very long time that I did top 150 in Siege without trying really. Like I don't think I even refreshed. I never bought a refresh once, and I got top 150. So it was pretty good. Hey, what'd you think about it? The character selection.
It was pretty good. The only thing I didn't like was that the bonus characters meshed too well with Lex. So Lex
Yeah.
was so dumb. I mean, just so many Lex teams.
Yeah.
Probably 80% of the teams were 2 to 3 bonus characters plus Lex.
I only wish for if it was possible, but obviously it wasn't, to have Martian Manhunter's rework before that, because he would just because Martian Manhunter I feel changes the game a lot now against Lex teams.
I'm so looking forward to this siege because of that.
Yeah. Kage or Loot, any experiences that you want to share with? I guess Loot already said no. So Kage, anything you want to share about the siege? Anything you liked?
I guess it was pretty RNG based,
Mm-hmm.
as usual. I lost a few matches, a few too many matches, and due to RNG, but I started to catch my second win in the, I guess, in the second half of the siege. So just like you, I like running Mary. Mary was stupid fun to use, but at the end of the day, it's just Lex on Lex on
Something
Lex.
about her.
Something about
Something about Mary.
There is something about that Mary.
Yeah.
Something about Mary.
This
Yeah,
some of the
all I got.
younger ones won't get that reference, but I think we're all showing our age a little bit at least. Alrighty.
Eh,
All right, so let's move on from the siege then. Let's talk about the interesting things with May. So there was a lot of interesting characters, and a lot of people are hyped for this month. I know I am/was, but then it kind of dipped down for a bit and then came right back up because there's a little bit of drama around it. So this is Super Month, the Super Fan Month. So this time around we've got 2 new characters. We've got Metallo and Parallax, and then Martian Manhunter and Superman were reworked.
I'm sorry,
Parallax,
Parallax?
yeah.
Parallax? Parasite.
Parasite. Why was I thinking Parallax?
Come
We got
on, DP.
Parallax.
Come
I
on.
wrote Parallax in the notes, that's why. Never mind. My bad. Yeah, we got Parallax for the second time, apparently. Parasite. My bad. Anyways, so Superman was reworked for the 5th time. And I think basically twice in the same month. So let's start off with the drama. Anyone want to shed some info on Superman's quote-unquote mistake / rework? Anyone want to jump in?
I dealt with it on Reddit. Somebody else please talk.
Okay. Yeah, any of the owls?
Apparently, Ogre thinks a 50% chance out of turn attack with a 25% chance to stun is somehow broken.
Said it could be.
Fanning the flames.
I don't know. I think I don't know. He's boring to use, personally. Fighting him is annoying if you fight him.
We're talking
Rebirth
about the
versus-
controversy.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. But I personally think he's annoying to fight if the team you're fighting is like Rebirth 5, Superboys and Wonder Girl. But I just don't think a lot changed in his kit to really,
Okay.
Still boring. Still fight. It's boring to fight.
So hey, what are we gonna say about the controversy?
Just the rework stunk. Everybody lost their minds. They gave him a slight nudge, similar to what they did with Grodd. I think he got a better nudge than Grodd because they gave him back his damage immunity. Problem is he's still the big change that makes him better, significantly better. Well, I wouldn't say better than he was. That his damage immunity taunt does proc when he quits, which is a big deal. I think there are teams add there in the future, or potentially now that people haven't had a chance to really discover yet, could make him extra annoying, especially on defense. But still, gonna need. I mean, he's in line for a rework again next year. I just can't understand why they don't give him the. I mean, he doesn't necessarily need Lex treatment, but make him an upper echelon character. Do it for a little while. Let him have his day in the sun.
Alrighty. So then, the thing about Superman for me is that like every time he's put through the rework, I feel like they're not doing enough for him. Like I think it was the second or the third time around is when he actually had a significant change where he was, which got him to where he was before. And now, like I mean, although they did kind of make good on like their mistake, quote unquote, I feel like he's still like underutilized. There's not enough for his kit to be appealing to him to use him versus other characters, unless you're just building around like annoying tank teams, which is like kind of like what Hate was talking about before, like the stall team. That like he's a good part of that stall team if you want to have him as a leader, because he's basically just keep going off. And the thing about his fix that people that he was basically fixed within a day after his rework release was that if you notice his leadership can now proc off himself, because it says ally, but it actually counts himself as an ally. So then if he gets critically hit, he just keeps going off and off and off and off. So the one thing about him that I really wish that they would fix is like basically just figure out what it is his niche is. Is he styling? Is he putting a lot of debuffs on people? Is he just there to be a big tank? So if he's there to be a big tank, give him more consistency in his tankiness, right? Give him a turn 0 taunt, for example. If he was there to stun, give him.
I would have fixed him a turn 0 taunt, especially with him procking himself. He would have
been a major difference,
Yeah.
And it would have made him incredibly useful and highly meta.
Right. But the other thing is, for example, let's say we went the route of tank. That would be the case, right? Then the other route is like, let's say we want to put him in a stun team, for example. You could give his 2, you could rework his 2 to like stun people when he lasers them, right? You could have made him more of a debuffer, for example, with his 2 or with his 1, in terms of like putting.
Well, if they would have given him turn 0 and then made his basic 100% instead of 25%,
Right.
Be tier immediately.
The other thing about his move, like to make him like a stall character or more of a crazy tank, like you could have given a similar move to like Brainiac, whereas that if he goes off, he gives everyone like 1 turn damage immunity, so that he doesn't just like, because he also becomes Wonder Girl food every time he procs. Well, not him himself, because he's not taking damage, but your whole team is getting whipped, right? Because he's getting so many buffs. So if you put like 1 turn damage immunity on everybody, like Brainiac has, then they won't get killed, right? So it's sort of like, yeah, he's a great tank, but because of his abilities, he kills the rest of your team because Wonder Girl exists. So, anyways, I could probably go off on this for a while. So let's move on. Let's talk about the other juicy rework here, Martian Manhunter. So I've been playing with him a lot, and I like him a lot. I don't know and I've actually brought this up in my Alliance chat. I also brought this up in a couple other places. So what do you guys think about him versus Brainiac in terms of leaders? Most people say that he brings a lot more to the table than Brainiac does now, but Brainiac is still like has his place, and Martian Manhunter has his place. Hey, I know that you used to like Brainiac a lot too, and I think it was it Loot or was it Kage that liked Brainiac too? I forget.
I think it was more loot.
Okay.
I like Brainiac. I think he's awesome.
All right.
I think Martian Manhunter is awesome too, but he is different. Not the same.
Okay, that's fair.
I think Martian Manhunter, I think overall is a better character. I would rate him higher. I still think, like you said, Brainiac still has a place. Protect against the whip, mostly. and he protects against counterattacks, which is becoming increasingly useful. So I still think he has a place, but Martian Manhunter's just so good. And then they're great together. Brainiac can
Shh!
out
Don't
of
tell
lead.
anyone that. Are you crazy? Now I'm going to be fighting MMH B12 every single Siege match. What are you doing?
Brainiac can do it out of the lead, which gives him an advantage over Martian Manhunter. But Martian Manhunter, I mean, he's got 100% stun now, which just puts him in my wheelhouse. So I've been between him and Hal Jordan. I swap back and forth on my teams. Brainiac allows my stun team could hold up against Lex teams most of the time, but occasionally, if they were especially had Kaga and Wonder Girl and Beast Boy, you couldn't get a turn. But with Martian Manhunter, I mean, I can lock them all down and kill them all before they even take one turn. So he's obscenely good now. The only thing he's bad against, which I think kind of keeps him balanced, is that he's not good against Harley Quinn teams, Asian teams.
Oh yeah, I hear you. So basically, I look at Martian Manhunter and compare him to Brainiac in terms of the speed up. And OC3 was pointing out that Brainiac does things passively in terms of turn meter up, whereas Martian Manhunter just basically gives you the one time at the beginning of the turn, right? So that does change things a little bit. I also compare him to Green Lantern Hal Jordan in the sense that he has a very similar kit because his third stuns and removes a lot of buffs on a character, but he can miss. It's just that his move itself will miss, but the purging won't, right? So that means the stun can miss as well. Ogre, are you saying something? Ogre? If you're saying something, I can't hear you.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying anything.
Oh, okay. I saw your bubble lighting up, so I thought you were saying something. Okay.
No, I'm on push to talk even. I shouldn't be lighting up.
That's weird. Never mind. Okay. Anyways, so when it comes to Martian Manhunter, the biggest thing that I was playing around with is because he's all special damage now. He's doing ridiculous damage, like ridiculous. Like
They
'cause
changed his gear set.
Yeah, they changed his gear set, but at the same time, he also stacks int up a lot because that new passive that was this before. Like, yeah, I think this passive was reworked, right? Where he's getting so much int up.
Yeah, his
passively from
passive. I. They changed it from like a percentage chance to like 100%, I think, or not 100%, but like they did something to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, like he gets int up passively from his teammates on their turns, and then so there's a couple of times when I take his turn, he's got a giant stack of int ups, and if you do his 3, he just like nukes anybody, like especially if it's not a non-special damage character. But he's just really really strong. You guys feel the same way about his damage now?
I really didn't want to rebirth yet. My 19th character, but he has to in the rebirth list.
Yeah.
Probably next.
I went straight to rebirth with him. He does so much damage; it's crazy. But Kage, you haven't shared your thoughts about Martian Manhunter. What do you think?
Nothing different from what the guys are saying. I think they did a good job of balancing him.
Yeah.
He would have been super dumb if they made his leadership a passive. But I'm glad they didn't go that route.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, he plays the same kind of, but better now. I'm glad they really gave him a niche outside of being Hal Jordan Light, because that's what really. Last time I used him was during the previous Siege, where he was a bonus character. Man, he was just so bad to use, but he got a lot of much needed love, and I'm really glad for that. And I've been using him a lot more lately. If I see a Martian Manhunter lead on the other team, I use my own Red Hood, and then if I see Lex, I use Martian Manhunter. So I do think they're starting to balance out the Lex meta a little bit. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy, looking forward to this Siege because it's going to be real fun to use, or real fun to play.
I like that. That's good. So Martian Manhunter hopefully will change the meta. So that's good.
And while Kage was talking, I was just thinking, if another thing they could have done for Superman that would have made him great, just make his leadership a passive.
Oh, yeah.
Would be
You could put him on a lot of
Would be
different other
scary.
teams. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be an easy fix. The problem is like theme wise, I think that WB doesn't want to do that because he's like the poster boy of DC, right? So being the poster boy should have to have a leader ability. I mean, that kind of is what it is, but we'll see. You never know. They might just flip the table on that, or flip the script on that rather. But we'll see. All right. I mean,
I don't think they're going to touch him for a long time. So
yeah. Let's wrap things
19
up with
rework.
the new characters for this month. What have the owls unlocked Parallax yet with his little pack?
Parasite.
Parasite. I keep saying Parallax. I got
We've all unlocked
I
Parallax.
I unlocked him. I think Hate did too. I took mine. I maxed them out right away. I mean, not from a fragment perspective, but I took him to G1180. Tried him out, and he's only like R2, maybe R3, and he needs the rest of his kit. He's just not usable yet.
Alrighty, that's fair. Have you guys
And
played with?
Metallo,
Yeah,
I
mhm.
completely maxed out L580,
Oh yeah.
and I'm very underwhelmed.
Oh really?
Uh,
Interesting.
yeah, he just, I don't know, man. He's a turn zero taunter that's really squishy, and the crit immunity really doesn't help him.
That's fair. Hey, you were gonna say something about any of these characters?
Parasite I haven't done anything with yet, but Metallo I have him L580. Did a video on him yesterday. Because he's a turn zero taunter, has a purge and a stun, like a character that is right up my alley. He is pretty squishy. I think against most matches he's fine. Like he does well against strength-based characters. He's actually not the worst against Arcus before Arcus gets crazy, but he does die super fast to all the special damage and greens that we have right now.
Mm-hmm.
So he's one of those characters I think could be good down the road. So if we have other characters that can give him means of protection. I do like him with Martian Manhunter because he does allow him to take a hit and he gets to go early because he actually does very good damage once the strength ups are rolling. Wish he had the stupid empowered strength ups. I don't know why they didn't give him that
Like, why
to
make
keep
that?
the whip from.
I don't understand why make the empowered stuff and then not use it. I kind of also felt the same way about
Exactly.
disease. Like disease is not around a lot. But anyways,
That was another thing for Superman. Why didn't he get empowered strength ups to kind of mitigate
Yeah.
the whip a little?
exactly. That also makes
That'd be-
more flavorful sense because he's Superman.
I'd contemplated getting grossly wailing on him if he was really good, just to have a physical turn zero taunting stunner to just kind of be able to do more mixed matches. I bought enough shards to take him RB2. I'm gonna hold off for now. Be later.
Yeah. I'm hoping
Maybe.
I'm hoping on hope that Parallax is insane. Like I really like his kit. I really
Why do you keep saying parallax?
Parasite.
Jesus.
I keep reading that stupid
God.
script. I'm gonna change the script.
Stop
Stop
reading
reading the
you
script.
freaking robot.
Parasite. There we go. I changed it. Done.
Call yourself a Superman
Parasite looks
fan.
really good.
Yeah. I keep reading
My-
the damn scripts.
My initial thoughts on Parasite, just based on reading the kit, and it's often horrifically wrong, is that he's going to be extremely good.
yeah.
It's so hard to tell with those paper kits, though.
Mm-hmm.
You
We'll
know,
see.
I feel like we look at tunes and we're like, wow. And then we go play them and we're like, eh. And then sometimes we look at kits and we're like, yeah, this does not look good. But then they're great. It's just super hard.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see with Parasite. I said Parasite this time. Good. All right. Okay, so let's move on to the end of the show. Before we get to the Q&A, there was a couple of things we're going to talk about with the shop. We're going to talk about the Teespring shop. I just made a new phone case yesterday for all of you guys who are shopping around on the Teespring shop. If you want to buy our swag, it's there at teespring.com/stores/WROL broadcast. Yeah, the phone case I made was like the old alternate art that had the Doom instead of the Harley Quinn.
Early.
Yeah. So it's there. I think it's an iPhone case for now. I'm probably looking to making the Android cases too. We're also looking to make hats right now. It's a bit more an involved process because it's embroidered rather than printed. So hopefully we'll get that up for you guys soon, but it might take a bit longer. So just have patience for that. Otherwise, if there's any other things that you guys might want to see in terms of swag, just let us know anywhere, like on Reddit or on Discord or wherever it is that you leave comments. Just let us know, and maybe we can get that made for you if we don't already have it. Okay, so moving on, let's go to the Q&A portion. So if you're here on Discord or on YouTube, you can feel free to type in any questions. We'll answer them live on air. And if you are on Discord, let me know if you want to ask us questions live on air if you have your mic set up. So, any questions? Go ahead. Anybody? While we wait. Do you guys? Well, I guess while we wait for
DC
questions.
typing.
Yeah. What was that?
Did I DC typing?
Oh, okay.
See, Brandon
DC
thinking. I do want to give a congratulations to Bolsey. He is now taken over as the leader of the Owls.
Yay!
Fry
Congrats,
stepped down.
Ballsy. We love you.
Fry stepped down.
So
Yeah,
Bolsey
he's so busy as being a doctor.
Bolsey told me that.
Yeah, he's got too much going on.
I could imagine.
So
with all
Bolsey
this,
told
what's
me
going
yesterday,
on.
after congratulating him with his leadership, that we're gonna have a party today with tea and crumpets. So if you guys want to join us, we will be having that later.
Okay.
Where's the pizza and beer, man?
They're British. They don't believe in pizza and beer. It's
Blasphemy.
I mean, I would accept fish and chips. So, but I guess while we're waiting for other questions to roll in, what do you guys do for, I guess, other than DC, obviously, DC Legends, what do you guys do to kill time at home if you're not always working? And I know in Hate's case, it's always working. But anyone playing any new games or anything? I've been spending a lot of time with Final Fantasy VII Remake.
My buddy told me about that, and it sounded so disappointing.
Yeah, I know what you're.
I've only heard really good things. Unfortunately, I don't have a PS4, so I can't play it.
Wow.
But I really
I'm
want to play it.
You have enough money for a PS4.
I'm an Xbox guy.
So,
I just chose one console, and I stuck with it.
As a huge Final Fantasy fan, the issues that I have with the 7 remake, they changed combat system,
of course,
and it ends at Midgard.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
It's because they wanted to milk that. They want to make it into 2 parts.
No, it's partly because they want to milk it, and partly because they wanted to get it out because the fans wouldn't shut the hell up.
Well, yeah. I mean, I
get that, but why change the combat system?
Well,
what the heck?
I think they basically had to get to, quote unquote, with the times, and a lot of people will basically disagree with that. And I don't think that I would have accepted it either way. I think that if they stuck with the old system and made it completely turn-based, almost like with the limit system they had before, that would have been fine. Just made it like jazzed up in terms of graphics. But then having sort of this real-time element, basically anything from Final Fantasy 11 onwards kind of had that sort of element to it, right? But we'll move on from there. We actually have some questions regarding
Those are the ones that I didn't play. I played through 9. Right. I played through 9.
About Final Fantasy.
There. I like turn-based.
All right, anyways. So there was a question here from Smooth Riding on YouTube. It says, agility down or call assist for raids? What do you guys think?
Agility down.
Agility down.
Yeah.
Agility down.
Depending on the bonus characters, but yeah.
All right, let me see.
M4 says, why not both?
Alrighty. So I mean, yeah, you could do both. Now, what would be the characters to put a lot of agility downs? Are there a lot of agility down characters in the?
There's not a ton.
Yeah.
Just Emerald Archer and the other
Emerald
guy.
Archer and the Riddler and
Harley Quinn.
Harley
Quinn. Yep.
And I want to say there's like 1 or 2 others that are a lot less significant. I cannot remember off the top of my head.
That's Squad Deadshot.
Yeah, Suicide
Yeah,
Deadshot does
Deadshot.
put. Yeah.
He's an X5.
Yep. All right. So I mean,
DC Brainiac also had a question
Yep.
asking, where was it? One. He must have deleted it.
I think he said he was thinking
okay.
before. But anyways.
He said, what new tunes or reworks could use these Doom, the other debuffs
Oh, the new debuffs
need to be added?
The new moves.
Yeah.
So use Doom and Disease. What characters could?
I think a lot
Use
of
those?
the bleeders could be reworked. For example, with disease, that would be an easy one.
No, Joker
about,
damage
Dr.
goods
I don't
should
think.
have
I don't
Doom.
think. I don't think a lot of the characters should,
some
but I
of them.
think that there are
Yeah.
some that could definitely.
Yeah,
I would love to see Joker
Um,
damage goods with Doom.
That would be really cool.
that would be
What
interesting.
about Dr. Poison,
Uh,
though?
Yeah,
Dr.
I
Poison could easily have Disease
yeah,
or Doom, for
Yeah.
that matter.
Because that's her shtick in the movie. It wasn't bleeds. Was
Yeah.
it was.
putting out the.
Well, okay, so bleeds are a generic term that DC has applied to a lot of different things. It could be poison, could be bleeding, it could be a lot of
Basically just
different
damage
things.
over time, right?
Yeah, it equates to damage over time. And Dr. Poison is the example. It just kind of represents everything in that category. So
I would like to see as Dr. Poison AoE turn all bleeds into disease.
that would be gross. Holy crap.
She's really slow, so I think it'd be okay. Like if you didn't change a whole lot else about her kit.
Okay, hey Mel, do you remember back in the day when you fought my team and my Dr. Poison nuked you?
Yeah, back in the day that. So instead of popping, I guess it could kind of do what it does. But if it turned bleeds into disease, that would just be so
It
awesome.
would be
So I
absolutely
want to see a
nuts. I
character
would
that
love
does
it.
that. That would
That would be absolutely nuts. I wouldn't mind seeing Killer Croc apply disease.
The Krog needs something. He's so bad.
What? You are.
If
Hi.
his proc
I
rate
agree,
was
he's
higher,
terrible.
he'd be good. If his proc rate was higher, he'd be good.
He needs a much higher proc rate.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I like
see
his
the
strength up
Proc rate
stealing.
as his problem. I see the problem being how squishy he is.
He goes invisible. He's not that squishy though.
I
he
was
just
running
doesn't
him
get
for a few
hit.
matches the other day. It was like Hal Jordan, Barda, Donna Troy, and Wonder Girl. And I was using Vixen, Superboy, Croc, and I want to say Banshee. And I just had a hard time keeping Croc alive. But, the team did fine anyway.
Good things never happen when he's on my team.
yeah.
I always think, I'm like, oh, I'm going to use him, steal strength up, so he'll be good for this match. And he
Yeah.
disappoints me
He
greatly.
might be good against Metallo. He might make a resurgence with that if Metallo ever becomes meta.
I don't think so. You're just going to nuke him with Lex.
Probably.
All right,
Probably.
actually, that's an interesting point. Like springboarding off the special damage characters, or actually Dr. Poison we were talking about, and also Metallo. There was a question here, for example, from Alistair619 from YouTube saying, what's your take on special damage reds, and should Metallo have been one? So actually, I feel like Metallo, he could have easily been one, just kind of like how Zod is a special damage green in terms of Kryptonian, because these guys have like these moves that are quote unquote like projectiles, like lasers and things like that. So those can be special damage elements, right? But if you're punching people, like Superman punches people, that has to be like a physical damage thing. But they've also changed the script on that with Martian Manhunter, for example. His big punch before was a physical damaging move, and now it's special. So I think Metallo could have been an all special. But when it comes to special damage reds, there are very few of them. I think there's only Joker, Clown Prince of Crime, and
Poison.
Dr. Poison, and who else is special damaging red?
I
Is that
think
it?
that might be it.
That's it, right? There's only two.
Might be it, yeah. And they're both bleeders.
Yep.
I
Illuminati.
don't know if
confirmed.
Metallo would have been that much better as special damage, because he was murdered by the physical greens.
Yeah.
So I don't think that matters so much. I'd like to see a new buff, kind of like agility or intelligence up, where it gives you protection, but it's a defensive buff.
Yeah.
Not awareness, but just decreased damage.
Defense up.
Yeah, like
I think
defense
that'd be
up.
really cool.
Empowered defense up.
Damage reduction.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, on the topic
Damage reduction.
of special damage reds, though, I think we do need more of them in the game because they would basically just make mincemeat out of the physical damage mystics, right? Because like not only do reds already deal good damage to mystics, but I mean, most mystics, especially the ones that are being used today, are I guess the most popular ones are physical based, like the Wonder Girls, right? So
Most characters in the game that are popular are physical, yes.
yeah, but the ones that are really like special damage based are usually very good in PvE, with the exception of Black Adam, who's good everywhere. But and anyways, so I mean that is kind of what it is. I do wish we would get more special damage reds, but we'll see if WB wants to pull the trigger on that. We'll see. It is kind of it's interesting. What would be like a physical damage red character? I thought if we were gonna get more with like the Superman theme, like if we ever get Eradicator and Steel, for example, Steel would be an easily physical character or a red character for me because he's a human Superman, right? But if you think about it though, could he be special damage? Maybe not. So that's the other thing.
So one thing they could have done is, you know how they back in the day switched armored Batman to energy? They
Yeah.
could have just left him physical and made him special damage.
Yeah, that's true. They could have done that too. Anyways, I mean, we'll see where we'll go with that. But I guess we'll wrap the show up there.
I think though, if you wanna look at that stuff though, you wanna look at like characters like Dr. Poison and Joker. They exemplify things like natural poisons and gases and stuff like that. Those are the special damage type attacks. So those are where you're gonna have to get new characters from.
Yeah.
Is a character who doesn't use a punch. They have a different kind of attacking. So
That's
What
fair.
if you change Riddler to special damage?
Riddler? Yeah.
Riddler
I can
probably
see that.
could
Yeah,
be.
Riddler could be
Mad
special.
Hatter might be another example.
And that's a character I want to see a real time is Riddler because he's a lot of potential to be amazing.
Yeah. Alrighty. So let's I guess let's move on from there. Let's see here. I think Alistair was asking another question on YouTube. Well, we're just gonna wrap the show here. We're getting up a little bit long in the tooth because it's just over an hour right now. So I guess we'll wrap it up there. So just shout outs at the end of the show to Elamar at the Bruce Wayne level, Fries at the Lex Luthor level, and also earning them this shout out and topic suggestions each month. So you guys didn't actually suggest anything for this month, but for next month, be sure to submit something. Also, our new patron, Hawk Guy, who was on the show the other day or last month, talking about, he's now our $10 patron at the Zatanna level. So thanks for being a patron. And also for all you other patrons who haven't gotten your roles on Discord yet, please let me know and I will set you up with those. So, and if you haven't already, check out our store at teespring.com/stores/WROL broadcast. All right. And if you guys want to be heroes like these guys to help us keep the lights on, consider supporting us over at patreon.com/WROL broadcast. And with that,
So
yeah.
one thing I want to mention too, real quick, before we sign off, is the tier list will be out either tonight or tomorrow.
Okay, great. And also the
Graded it
podcast
again.
version for this, I mean, I guess if you're listening
That
to
was
this,
fast.
if the podcast version should be up probably tomorrow or after tomorrow, because I'm going to finish raids first and then do that. But if you're listening to this, I guess it doesn't really make sense. So
You
never
can
mind.
stagger it a few days, maybe.
Yeah, all right. Okay, all right. I hope you guys have a good one and happy raiding. See you guys later.
Have a good one.
Bye now.